The morning began like any other, but as people stepped outside, their eyes turned to the heavens. Something strange covered the sky. A shadow, wide and endless, stretched from horizon to horizon. Mothers clutched their children, workers dropped their tools, and even the birds went silent. "What is that?" whispered an old man in the street, his voice trembling as the sunlight disappeared. At first, some thought it was a storm, dark clouds forming in strange shapes, but the shapes moved too perfectly, too smooth, like walls sliding into place. Then the world saw it clearly. They were ships, massive ships, alien warships that dwarfed skyscrapers. Their metal skin gleamed as if made from black glass, their edges sharp, glowing symbols covering their sides. One after another they appeared, until the entire sky looked like a sea of steel. People froze in shock, televisions flickered with live footage. News anchors stuttered as they tried to describe what no one could believe. "This is not an exercise," said one soldier on the broadcast, his face pale. "Earth is under attack." Screams rose across cities as sirens wailed. Government shouted orders for everyone to stay indoors. But the truth was simple. There was nowhere to hide from something so huge. Then came the voice, deep and cold, echoing in every mind. Not through speakers, not through radios, but inside their very heads. "This world is ours now," the voice said. "Kneel or be erased." Families collapsed in fear. Children cried, men clenched their fists in anger. Yet somewhere in the chaos, a strange calm rested on the faces of a few hidden leaders. They seemed to know something the rest of the world did not. The first attack began suddenly. Bright beams of energy shot down from the alien fleet. They struck military bases, airports, and satellites. Each blast brighter than the sun. Explosions ripped through the ground. Fire climbed into the skies. Buildings fell, cities shook. People screamed as the world seemed to end in minutes. The aliens laughed, their ships buzzing with victory signals. But then something unexpected happened. The fire began to vanish, where the energy beams had fallen. The flames disappeared, as if swallowed by air itself. Smoke cleared too quickly. Rubble shimmered as if time reversed. How is this possible?" shouted one alien commander, confused. The people on Earth were shocked as well. But some soldiers standing in secret bunkers only exchanged glances. Their voices calm. "It begins," one of them whispered. A small girl, hiding with her parents in an underground subway station, asked, "Mama, why are the soldiers not afraid?" Her mother could not answer, but her eyes noticed it too. The soldiers were different. Their uniforms bore symbols the world had never seen. They moved with quiet purpose, not panic, as if everything was unfolding exactly as planned. The alien armada grew impatient. They unleashed heavier firepower. Massive cannons glowed red as they fired beams that could split moons. The blasts hit Earth with deafening force, shaking oceans and cracking mountains. But once again, the destruction faded. The beams bent away, as if bouncing off invisible walls. Alien generals cursed, shouting in anger, while people on Earth stared in awe. Then the ground trembled, not from the alien weapons, but from something beneath. Mountains cracked open, oceans boiled, and from the depths of the earth rose machines unlike anything humans had ever shown. Towers of steel with weapons that glowed blue, massive cannons that hummed like storms, energy shields flickered into view. Covering entire cities with domes of light, the aliens recoiled. "They were supposed to be weak," one officer snarled. "Their technology is primitive," but primitive was the last word to describe what stood before them. A single railgun fired from the mountains. The blast shot through the sky faster than lightning. Piercing one alien battleship clean in half, the wreck fell burning into the sea. The waves swallowed it whole. Silence followed for a heartbeat. Then billions of humans cheered from every corner of the planet. But the aliens were not finished. Their fleet roared in anger. More ships descended, filling the atmosphere, covering the earth like a blanket of death. Their commanders ordered total destruction. Yet in their hearts, fear had already begun. They had underestimated humans, and now, with each failed attack, dread crept into their voices. In a hidden command room beneath the earth, human leaders stood before giant screens. One scientist leaned forward, his voice steady. "They took the bait." Another officer nodded. "For years they called us weak. For years they watched us fight each other. And we let them believe it." Silence followed until the commander gave the final order. "Release everything above the oceans." Gigantic human warships rose from the waves, water pouring down their sides like waterfalls. Their engines glowed brighter than suns. The aliens tried to retreat, but it was too late. Earth's counterattack had begun. Beams of light, missiles, and railgun shots filled the skies, each strike precise, each strike deadly. Alien ships exploded one after another, their mighty armada crumbling within minutes. On the streets, people looked up in disbelief, tears running down their faces as they saw the invaders burning. "We're winning!" shouted a boy holding his father's hand. The father nodded, still shaking. "We were never prey," he whispered. The alien commander tried to escape, his voice filled with rage and fear. "This planet is cursed. This planet is a trap." But his final words vanished with the explosion of his ship. Silence fell once more. The sky cleared, sunlight returned, the shadows lifted. Earth had stood against an armada that darkened the skies, and Earth had crushed them instantly. The galaxy would hear of this day. The galaxy would whisper in fear. Humanity was not weak. Humanity was the hidden predator, and from now on, no one would ever look at Earth the same way again. The alien armada hung in the sky like a wall of death, their black ships pulsing with red light. The people of Earth watched in terror as the first attacks rained down. Fire split the ground, buildings crumbled, and the air shook with explosions. Yet even as the aliens unleashed their power, something was wrong. Their weapons did not behave the way they expected. Inside one of the massive alien command ships, voices filled the control chamber. "Commander!" "Our beams fade before impact," shouted an officer, his long hands moving across glowing panels. "Their defenses are invisible but strong." The commander's cold eyes narrowed, his voice sharp like a blade. "Increase the power, strike again. Crush this world before they rise." Down below, hidden deep inside Earth's bunkers, soldiers stood ready. Their screens lit up with alien positions. One young soldier whispered to his commander, "Sir, they still don't understand. Should we reveal more?" The commander shook his head, his expression firm. "Not yet. Let them think we are only defending. Let them strike harder. Their arrogance will destroy them. Above the cities, alien ships unleashed a second wave, this time with enough energy to burn entire continents. The sky glowed red as the beams came down. People screamed, holding each other, waiting for the end. But just before the beams hit, the air shimmered. Invisible walls of energy appeared. The blasts hit and scattered, bouncing off as if Earth itself rejected them. Bright fire rolled back toward the alien fleet. Striking their own ships, one vessel exploded in a ball of fire. Crowds hiding in subway tunnels and basements could hear the distant booms. Are we still alive?" whispered a boy, clutching his mother's hand. Another man, his face pale but his voice steady, said, "They can't touch us. Someone is protecting us." His words spread through the frightened people like sparks of hope. In the alien flagship, silence fell, broken only by the crackle of burning wreckage on their screens. "Impossible," an officer gasped. "This planet should have fallen already." The commander slammed his hand against the console. "They hide something. No race this young could build such shields, far beneath the earth." Inside a hidden control center carved into stone, scientists and generals watched the aliens grow restless. "They're confused," one scientist said. Adjusting his glasses, they thought Earth was prey, but every strike they make only feeds their fear. The general leaned closer to the screen, his voice cold. "Good, let them doubt. The more they fear, the weaker they become." Above the oceans, one alien ship broke formation and moved closer to the surface, its weapons charged, its metal sides glowing. The commander of that ship snarled, "If their defenses block our beams, then we strike with blades." With that, hatches opened, and smaller ships shot downward like falling stars, their wings sharp, their engines screaming as they cut through the air. On the ground, sirens wailed again. Soldiers moved out of bunkers. carrying weapons the world had never seen, long rifles with glowing cores, armored vehicles shaped like beasts of steel. The young soldier looked up as the alien crafts descended. His heart raced, but his voice was steady. They're coming closer. It begins now. The alien ships tore through the sky, aiming for human cities. But before they could fire, the Earth answered. Railguns hidden in skyscrapers burst out of their shells. Cannons beneath bridges lifted into place, and from mountain ranges came lines of fire. The first alien fighter disintegrated mid-air. The second exploded in a flash. The third tried to turn, but was torn apart by a beam of blue light. Civilians hiding in shelters could hear the roar of battle. One girl covered her ears and whispered, "Please let us survive." Her grandmother held her close, whispering back, "We will, child, we will," because humans are not as weak as they believe. On the battlefield, alien pilots screamed in panic as human weapons hunted them down with precision. One shouted, "They're systems. They lock onto us before we move. It is as if they see our future." The alien commander's rage turned to unease, his voice cracking for the first time. "Retreat the smaller ships, regroup. We cannot lose more." But the order came too late. Within minutes, dozens of alien ships fell burning into forests and seas. The sky above Earth glowed with falling fire. People in the streets pointed upward, their fear turning into awe. "They're losing," whispered an old woman with tears in her eyes. "The invaders are actually losing." In the alien flagship, the commander's hands tightened around the railing. His voice low, "This was supposed to be easy. But these humans, they are something else." His officer trembled. "Commander, what if we miscalculated their strength? What if this world is not prey at all?" The commander turned slowly, his cold eyes glowing. "Then we will drown them in numbers. Call the rest of the fleet if this world dares to resist. We will show them what it means to face the Armada back on Earth." The young soldier watched as new warnings lit up the screens. Thousands more alien ships preparing to descend. His breath caught in his chest, but he smiled faintly. "They think more numbers will save them." The commander beside him gave a small nod. "Let them come. They have no idea what waits beneath their feet." The night sky filled with fire once more as reinforcements arrived. The Earth shook as alien ships positioned themselves for a third strike. Fear returned to the faces of civilians, but deep in the hidden bunkers, the leaders of humanity exchanged calm looks. The traps were ready, the weapons were waiting, and the secret of Earth was about to be revealed in full. As the alien commander prepared his next attack, a thought crossed his mind, a thought he could not push away. What if this world was never weak? What if they were only pretending, waiting for us to come? His chest tightened as a cold dread settled in. For the first time, the invaders began to fear the planet they came to conquer, and the humans, standing silently in the shadows, were ready to strike. The night sky was burning with fire. Broken alien ships fell like meteors, crashing into seas and mountains. Yet the Armada above Earth still stretched far and wide. The people below whispered in fear and hope. Will they stop, or will more come? In bunkers and secret bases, soldiers and scientists kept their eyes fixed on glowing screens, their voices steady but filled with tension. In the alien flagship, the commander's voice cut through the silence. "We underestimated them. These humans hide strength beyond their age." An officer turned, his face pale. "Commander, should we pull back?" The commander slammed his fist against the railing, his eyes glowing red. "No, we will break them. No prey humiliates the Armada." On Earth, inside a deep mountain bunker, the young soldier from before asked his commander, "Sir, how long can we hold them?" The commander studied the data, his expression calm. "As long as it takes, but we are not here only to hold. We are here to reveal." The soldier frowned. "Reveal what, sir?" The commander's eyes flickered to the screen, showing hidden underground silos. That Earth is not the weak world they believed. The aliens prepared their next strike. Massive warships gathered into formation, their cannons glowing with deadly energy. One alien pilot whispered to another, "This should not be happening. We have conquered worlds older and stronger, yet this "This planet bleeds us," the second pilot hissed back. "Silence, the commander will hear. Fear is forbidden." But his hands shook as he gripped the controls. From deep under the oceans, strange vibrations began to rise. Fishermen hiding on boats felt the waves churn. One man gasped. "The sea is moving." Then something enormous pushed upward. A colossal machine taller than towers broke the surface, water crashing from its shoulders like waterfalls. Its eyes glowed blue. Cannons on its arms hummed with deadly energy. The people who saw it gasped in disbelief. That's human." The alien fleet turned their attention toward the ocean giant. Their weapons locked. The commander sneered. "Destroy it. Show them the futility of resistance." Dozens of alien beams fired, lighting the night brighter than day. But when the smoke cleared, the giant still stood, its shields shimmering, its cannons glowing stronger. Then it struck back. A single blast of blue fire shot from its chest, slicing through the sky like lightning. The beam struck an alien cruiser, tearing it apart in an instant. Shock spread across the alien fleet. One officer stammered, "Commander!" "Their weapons. They rival our own." Silence filled the control room. Until the commander roared, "Then crush them harder. Deploy the dreadnoughts. On Earth, in a darkened shelter." Her mother whispered to her son, "Look, they fight for us." The boy's eyes widened. "Will they win?" The mother's hands trembled, but her voice stayed firm. "They must, because this is our home." Outside, cheers echoed as humans saw their machines rise, machines they never knew existed, hidden under oceans, mountains, even deserts. In another hidden base, scientists watched the awakening of more weapons. One man whispered, "For years we built in secret. For years we pretended weakness." His colleague nodded. "And now the galaxy will know the truth." Alarms flashed red as new alien formations descended, but the scientists did not panic. Instead, one said quietly, "Let them come. Every move they make only reveals more of what we have kept hidden." The alien dreadnoughts finally arrived. Ships so massive they cast shadows across continents, their cannons capable of erasing entire cities with a single blast. The alien commander's voice filled the fleet. "End this farce, erase this world." The ships fired together. The sky split open with energy storms. Humans held their breath, waiting for doom, but then something extraordinary happened. The blasts curved away, bending as if space itself rejected them. The energy streams twisted and collided with each other, exploding in mid-air. Alien ships were destroyed by their own power. Panic spread among the alien ranks. One shouted, "This is impossible! No world can bend our weapons." In the mountain bunker, the young soldier gasped, "Sir, what happened?" The commander's lips curved in the smallest smile. "Our defense grid is complete. They cannot touch us now." The soldier shook his head in awe. "We fooled them all this time, sir. Even our own people never knew." The commander looked at him sharply. "And that is why we will win, because they never expected humans to fight as predators, not prey." The battle raged on. Earth's hidden machines rose one after another. Railguns, cannons, energy shields, and warships of unimaginable scale. Every strike from the aliens was answered with brutal precision. Every attempt to advance was met with destruction. In the skies above, the alien commander clenched his fists, his rage mixing with fear. "What are these humans?" he whispered. On the ground, the people watched the burning skies, their fear slowly transforming into something else. Hope. They saw alien ships falling. They saw human weapons standing strong. They whispered words they had not dared before. "We can win. We can survive." Children pointed at the glowing shields above their cities, saying, "The sky is ours." But in the hidden command room, the human general's voice carried a warning. "This is only the beginning. The Armada is vast, and more will come." Yet his eyes were firm, his voice like steel. "But when they come, we will be ready." They believed we were weak. They believed we were prey. But now the galaxy will know the truth. Earth is the predator, and we do not forgive trespass. Above, the alien fleet tried to regroup, their formations broken, their pride shattered. The commander gave one last order, his voice heavy with doubt. "Fall back for now. We will return." But deep inside he feared the truth. Maybe they would never return. Maybe the humans had already sealed their fate. As the alien ships pulled away, Earth's defenses held firm. The night sky cleared, revealing stars once more. Billions of humans looked upward, their voices rising together, not in fear but in defiance. The world that once seemed fragile now stood as a fortress. The humans had revealed their secret, and the galaxy would never look at Earth the same way again. The ruins of battle still glowed in the night sky. Alien ships burned as they fell into the oceans, their wreckage lighting up the horizon like dying stars. But even in defeat, the alien armada did not leave. They circled the planet like vultures, waiting, watching, planning their next strike. On Earth, people gathered in shelters, their faces pale yet filled with wonder. "How are we still alive?" whispered one woman, holding her daughter close. The child pointed to the glowing shield above the city and said softly, "Because Earth is stronger than they think." Inside a secret mountain command center, screens showed the alien fleet regrouping. The young soldier leaned forward, his voice uneasy. "Sir, they are not retreating. They're gathering strength," the commander nodded slowly. "They will not leave so easily. Pride will not allow it, but pride blinds them. And soon they will make the mistake we are waiting for." The soldier swallowed hard. "And if they don't?" The commander's eyes grew sharp. "Then we force it." In the alien flagship, the commander paced across the chamber, his long cloak trailing behind. Rage burned in his voice. "We came to crush a weak world, and yet their weapons wound us. Their shields mock our fire." One officer trembled as he spoke. "Commander, our forces fall faster than expected, perhaps." "Perhaps this world is not as it appears." Silence followed, until the commander snarled, "No, this is trickery. They cannot outmatch us. Call the war, Behemoth. We will show them what true destruction is." From the dark side of the alien fleet, a monstrous ship emerged, so large it dwarfed the others, its surface bristling with weapons, its core glowing with red light like a beating heart. Civilians on Earth who saw it on the broadcasts gasped. "It's bigger than a city," one man whispered, his hands shaking. "How can we fight that?" Back in the bunker, alarms blared. Scientists rushed across control panels. "The Behemoth is preparing a planet-killer strike," shouted one of them. Panic flickered in the young soldier's eyes. "Sir, what do we do if it fires?" The commander's voice cut like steel. "It will not fire, because we will strike first." Deep beneath the earth, silos opened, revealing weapons no one outside the secret programs had ever known. Missiles with cores of glowing energy, railguns stretching for miles, cannons humming with power stolen from the heart of stars. The soldier stared in awe, whispering, "We had all this." "All along?" The scientist beside him gave a thin smile. "For centuries we prepared in silence. The galaxy laughed at us. And now they will regret it." The alien Behemoth began charging, its red core pulsing brighter. Ships around it formed a shield wall, protecting their giant. In the command chamber, the alien leader raised his hand. "Let them see true power. Erase their hope in one strike." But before the order finished, Earth answered. A thunderous roar shook the skies as human weapons fired. Beams of blue light, railgun slugs faster than sound, and missiles tearing through the darkness. The alien wall fought back. Ships exploded, shields flickered. The Behemoth groaned as its armor cracked. The alien commander's eyes widened. How can they break us so quickly?" On Earth's surface, people huddled in fear as the sky lit up like a storm of suns. One boy clutched his grandfather's arm. "Is that the end?" The old man shook his head slowly, eyes glistening. "No, child, that is the beginning. Humanity is no longer hiding." The alien Behemoth tried to fire, its core swelling with deadly light. But then a single human railgun shot, hidden deep inside the Andes Mountains, cut through the sky like lightning. It pierced the Behemoth's core. Silence held for a heartbeat, then the ship erupted, the explosion brighter than 1,000 suns. The shockwave rippled across the alien fleet, tearing dozens of ships apart. Cheers erupted across the world. People embraced. Tears of relief streamed down faces. "We can fight them," shouted a woman. "We can win." In the bunker, the young soldier gasped, his chest rising fast. "We destroyed their strongest weapon." The commander's face stayed calm, but his voice carried weight. "No, we destroyed their pride. Now they know the truth. Earth is not prey." In the alien flagship, silence fell as the wreck of the behemoth drifted across their screens. Officers stared in disbelief, their hands trembling. "Commander!" "We're losing," one whispered. The commander's face twisted in rage and fear. "No, this cannot be. These humans cannot defeat the Armada." His voice cracked. But in his heart, he already knew the truth. Still, the aliens fought on. Waves of smaller ships descended, trying to overwhelm the human defenses. Battles raged across the sky. Fire lit the night. Earth's weapons struck with merciless precision. The invaders fell one by one, yet the humans never rushed. Every move was calm, measured, as if they had always known this day would come. In the streets, people emerged from shelters, looking up at the glowing shields and burning wrecks. For the first time, their fear was gone, replaced by something stronger. "Pride," a woman whispered. "We were never weak. We only pretended." Her friend beside her nodded. "And now the galaxy will know." When dawn came, the sky was filled with smoke and wreckage. The alien fleet shattered, their formations broken. The humans stood unbroken in the bunker. The young soldier turned to his commander. "Sir, do you think they will return?" The commander looked at the burning horizon, his voice heavy but sure. "Yes, they will. Pride will drag them back, but next time, the galaxy itself will fear us. For today we showed the truth. Earth does not bow. Earth conquers, and somewhere deep in space, messages from the defeated invaders already spread. Warnings whispered to other empires, beware the humans. They are not what they seem. The legend of Earth had begun, and it was written in fire across the stars. The battlefield of the sky was still burning. Smoke and fire drifted across the clouds. Alien wreckage rained down into the oceans. Yet the world was not quiet. People on Earth cheered in the streets. But their leaders knew the fight was far from over, in bunkers and hidden control centers. Voices spoke in calm tones. "We won a battle, not the war." In the alien flagship, silence filled the command chamber. The commander stood stiff, his eyes burning with humiliation. "We lost the behemoth," he muttered. His officers avoided his gaze. One of them finally whispered, "Commander, the humans are not weak. We cannot deny it anymore." Rage thundered in the commander's voice. "No, they trick us. They hide behind technology stolen from others. We will uncover their secret, and then we will crush them, far below." In the bunker, deep inside the Earth, the young soldier asked his superior, "Sir, do you think they will attack again?" The commander's expression was unreadable. "Yes, but not as before. Now they will try to learn. They will send spies. They will search for weakness." The soldier frowned. "And do we have any?" The commander's eyes narrowed. "Every predator has teeth, but also a blind spot. The question is, will they find ours before we strike again?" That night something strange happened across the globe. Alien probes fell silently into cities and forests. Unseen by most, they were small, like shadows with wings, moving through the darkness. One probe slipped through the ruins of a battlefield, scanning wreckage, recording human technology. Another drifted into a city, hiding in the shadows of skyscrapers. People passing by felt a chill, never knowing something was watching. In the command room, a scientist's voice cut through the stillness. "Sir, enemy probes have entered our atmosphere." The young soldier's eyes widened. "Spies?" The commander's jaw tightened. "Yes, and if they learn too much, the galaxy will know our secrets. We cannot allow it." Teams of hidden operatives moved out. Not ordinary soldiers, but men and women trained in silence. Their weapons compact and deadly. One operative whispered to another as they tracked a probe through a forest. "If they send these things, it means they are afraid," the other replied softly. "Afraid or desperate." Their footsteps made no sound as they followed the faint hum of alien machinery. Meanwhile, the alien commander studied the data coming from the probes. Glowing symbols lit the chamber, his voice low. "Look at their weapons. Their machines. This is no accident. They prepared for us," an officer asked quietly. "Commander, what if they prepared for everyone? What if Earth has been waiting to challenge the galaxy itself? Fear spread in the silence, but the commander slammed his fist on the table. Then we must destroy them before their shadow grows too large. On Earth, one probe finally reached an underground entrance hidden in the mountains. It scanned the steel doors, whispering data back to the alien fleet, but before it could finish, a sharp sound rang out. The probe fell, split in half by a silent bullet. The operatives stepped out from the shadows. Their leader spoke into his comm. Target neutralized. Send cleanup. The young soldier in the bunker heard the report and smiled faintly. So they are hunting us, and we are hunting them. But the danger was not over. One probe managed to send critical data before it was destroyed. The alien commander's eyes widened as he read the results. They built weapons from the core of stars. They twist gravity. They bend energy. This is no primitive world. His voice dropped to a whisper. This is a trap, one built over centuries. In the bunkers, human leaders met in secret, generals, scientists, and commanders stood around glowing maps. One scientist spoke. The aliens are beginning to understand. Soon they will know too much. Another nodded. Then we must show them only what we want them to see. The commander raised his voice. Then let us end this deception tonight. Let us reveal enough to terrify them, but never enough to give them answers. The next day, as alien probes tried to record more data, humans set their trap. Decoys appeared, fake weapons, false readings. Entire bases designed to mislead. The aliens thought they were uncovering secrets, but in truth, they were being fed lies. Inside the alien flagship, the commander smiled coldly. At last, their weakness. They rely on unstable cores. Their weapons cannot last long. He turned to his officers. Prepare for one final strike. We will shatter their defenses before they collapse on their own. Cheers filled the chamber. But none realized they had fallen into the humans' design. On Earth, the young soldier asked, Sir, why let them think they discovered weakness? The commander replied, Because fear is not enough. Sometimes you must feed pride. Let them believe they hold the key, then when they strike, they will fall harder. That night, the alien armada moved into position, their weapons ready. Their confidence restored by false intelligence, people on Earth looked up, hearts pounding. It's happening again, whispered one mother. Will we survive this time? Her husband squeezed her hand. We will, because they don't know what waits for them. The alien fleet fired. Beams of red and gold tore through the skies. But instead of hitting weakness, they struck hidden traps. Shields stronger than ever, weapons waiting. Earth's railguns and cannons opened fire in a storm. The alien fleet staggered. Ships exploded one after another. The commander's victory turned to horror. This was a lie, he shouted. They tricked us. On Earth, the young soldier whispered, watching the alien fleet collapse. They wanted answers. But we gave them death, the commander nodded, his voice heavy, and now they know the truth. We are not hiding from them. We are teaching them fear. As the last of the probes burned and the Armada shattered once more, the galaxy heard whispers carried by the survivors. Whispers of a world that lured fleets into traps. A world that crushed pride and turned strength into weakness. The legend grew. Earth was not a prey world. Earth was a predator's den, and those who entered would never leave unchanged. The skies above Earth were heavy with silence after the last great battle. Wreckage of alien ships floated in orbit like broken bones around a giant. Fire still burned in the oceans where fallen cruisers had crashed. People on Earth celebrated in the streets, but in the bunkers, the leaders did not smile. One general spoke in a grave voice. The Armada is not finished. This silence means they are planning something greater. In the alien flagship, the commander sat in shadows, his red eyes fixed on the ruins of his once proud fleet. His officers stood in fear, none daring to speak. Finally, one officer broke the silence. Commander, our probes are gone, our dreadnoughts destroyed. Perhaps we should retreat and regroup. The commander's voice cut like ice. Retreat is death. The galaxy will laugh at us. We will not crawl away. We will burn this planet until nothing remains. His voice shook with both fury and desperation. On Earth, in the underground control room, the young soldier studied new signals on the screens. His hands trembled. "Sir, the remaining alien fleet is gathering again, but it's different. Their energy levels are off the scale." The commander's eyes narrowed. "They are preparing their final weapon." The soldier swallowed hard. "Can we stop it?" The commander did not answer at once, then finally spoke. "We can, but it will cost us." That night, people across the world looked up and saw the stars vanish once more. This time not from ships, but from a massive structure forming above. The alien commander's voice echoed across the planet, booming inside every mind. "Humans, your tricks are finished. Your world will be ash in shelters." Families held each other. One mother whispered to her son, "Close your eyes, child, whatever comes. We face it together." The boy shook his head stubbornly. "No, Mama, we will fight like the soldiers." In the hidden bases, scientists worked frantically. One of them said, "They have activated a planet buster. It will tear Earth apart." Another looked up with grim resolve. "Then it is time to release our last defense," the young soldier overheard, his eyes wide. "Last defense? What do you mean?" The scientist looked at him with tired eyes. "We built a weapon we hoped never to use. A weapon that can end not only their fleet, but their future." Deep under the earth, a colossal chamber came alive. Engines as old as the Cold War and as new as tomorrow hummed together. Massive warships hidden in caverns began to rise, their hulls glowing with power. These were not ordinary ships. They were humanity's final guardians, built in silence, waiting for this moment. The commander placed a hand on the young soldier's shoulder. "What you see now is the truth of our species. We survive by being underestimated, and we strike when they least expect." Above the planet, the alien superweapon charged, its red core pulsing like a second sun. Alien officers watched with cruel smiles. When it fires, their shields will fail, their oceans will boil, their mountains will shatter. The commander of the fleet raised his arms. "Let them know despair." But before the weapon could unleash its fire, Earth's final guardians broke the surface. Massive ships rose from oceans, mountains, and deserts. Their engines roared louder than thunder. Civilians who saw them gasped. One man shouted, "Where did those come from?" Another answered with trembling pride, "They were here all along, hidden from us as well as from them." The battle that followed shook the heavens. Alien beams clashed with human shields. Explosions painted the sky. One of Earth's new warships fired a railgun shot that split a cruiser in half. Another unleashed missiles that tracked and tore through entire squadrons. Alien voices filled the void with panic. "They have more ships! Impossible! Impossible!" Inside the alien flagship, the commander slammed his hands on the console, his rage breaking into fear. They were waiting for us. Every step, every battle was part of their design. His officer whispered in dread, "Commander, we cannot win. We must retreat." But the commander's pride would not allow it. "No, if we retreat, we are nothing. We burn with them or we burn alone." In the bunker, the young soldier watched the screens, sweat rolling down his face. "Sir, the alien weapon is still charging. If it fires..." The commander raised his hand. "It will not fire, because we will strike its heart." He looked at the young soldier with steel in his eyes. "And you will carry the order." The soldier's chest tightened. "Me?" The commander nodded. "You have the will, and sometimes will decide battles." The soldier took the comm unit, his voice steady despite his fear. "All units, target the weapon's core. Fire everything." The Earth warships responded. Beams of blue, streaks of missiles and railgun blasts filled the skies. The alien weapon's shield flared bright, holding for a moment, then cracking. The young soldier shouted again, "Push harder! Don't stop!" The shield shattered, the core flickered, and then the weapon exploded in a blinding storm of fire. The shockwave ripped through space, tearing apart dozens of alien ships. Even the flagship shook violently. Alien officers screamed as systems failed. The commander stumbled, his eyes burning with hatred and despair. "Humans, you were never prey." His words were lost as his ship erupted in flames. On Earth, the people saw the fireball fade. Silence followed, then cheers rose like thunder. Strangers embraced. Children laughed through tears. An old woman lifted her hands to the sky and whispered, "At last, the danger is gone in the bunker." The young soldier fell back into his chair. Breathing hard, "We did it, sir." The commander nodded slowly. "Yes, but remember, victory carries a price. They will return one day, or others will come." The soldier looked at the glowing wreckage in the sky and said firmly, "Then we will be ready, because now the galaxy knows the truth." Outside, the stars shone once more, no longer hidden by enemy ships. Humanity had stood. Humanity had fought, and humanity had crushed an armada that thought Earth was weak. The legend of that night would echo across the stars forever. Earth, the silent predator, had revealed its teeth.